Welcome back to It Resolves, where we play a new deck every single day. Today's deck is Boros Murn. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another standard gameplay video. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you are having a great Memorial Day. All that jazz. I think this is going out on Memorial Day. Honestly, I've had to record a lot because I'm trying to get ahead, and man, I am mixed up. But today, we've got Boros Murn, guys. This is MTG Malone's version, shared over on AetherHub. He did play this version. It's phenomenal. Go check out, wow, MTG Malone. Hoping to do better with this deck list than we did the other one that we played just 2 days ago, where we really didn't do so hot. We finally broke our losing streak, though. And so I'm hoping we can get some more wins today. Boros Murn is obviously pretty good, very aggressive deck. Has a modified sub-theme, which is actually quite interesting. To very quickly talk through, because I don't want to go, it's pretty straightforward. You do have the burn package with Strangle. You've got Roil Eruption, Kami's Flare, excuse me. We have a little bit of burn on Kumano, or Kumano, I don't know, this card, which deals 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control. So this is a nice little addition. We do have Hopeful Initiate, which gives us a little bit of artifact and enchantment removal as well, which is quite nice. In the 2-drop slot, we of course have the adversaries, so we've got both Intrepid and Bloodthirsty. We also have the Aspirant, which gives us those modified tokens as easily as we want them. We've got the Brutal Cathar. There's going to be a little bit of creature removal for us, which is nice because, again, we're just trying to attack every turn and deal as much damage as we can. If we can get stuff off the board to make that easier, this is a great option for it. We do have a Shatterskull Charger as a 2-of here. This is Trample Haster. If it was kicked, it comes in with 2 1/1 counters on it. But at the beginning of your end step, if it doesn't have a 1/1 counter on it, you return it to its hand, or to its owner's hand. What's kind of nice about this is if you go Luminarch Aspirant and then turn 3 Charger, you throw the counter on the Charger and still get in that turn, which is pretty awesome. Angelfire Ignition, an obvious include here, just a great way to repeatedly add counters to something. Give yourselves Indestructible, Lifelink, Vigilance, Trample, Haste, all the stuff you need. Sunrise Cavalier, of course, you get to throw 1/1 counters on a creature you control as it becomes day or night. And then finally in the 4-drop slot, Thundering Raiju, really getting to capitalize on the modified mechanic here. So very interesting. We do have Seat of the Empire here, and that's really the only tech land. Everything else is just to mana fix or basics. So that's the whole deck. It's pretty straightforward. Again, built by MTG Malone. I'll link him down below so you guys can go check him out. But this should be a pretty fun, pretty quick few matches or few games. So we'll run into it. We'll see how many we can get in, but it's going to be a blast. So let's start there. All right, guys, here we are for game number 1. And what do we think with this hand? It's a little not great. It's awkward because of the mana, but I do think when we have 2 lands and we have things to do, we keep it in this kind of deck. I think it's really easy to get yourself in a position where you over mulligan and you just don't have much you can do. Looks like this is going to be a mirror match, though, so this will be fun. So the question becomes, do we just leave up the flare? And I actually think we do. So here's the thing. If we flare 1 creature, yeah, that's fine, actually. Interesting. All right, so we're gonna take this one out. We can Brutal Cathar the other, and so we kind of force them into a position where they've got to do something, which is pretty reasonable. Now, I'm sure they've got, they absolutely are gonna have some amount of burn in the deck, so this isn't a permanent game plan, just to be clear. But it is a game plan, and I think it's fairly reasonable. I'm sure they'll burn it this turn. No, they just have Thundering Raiju. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Not gonna block, just gonna take 4, sadly. That's interesting. Again, part of me just wants to See, this is interesting because part of me just wants to wait with the Seat of the Empire up. I guess we can still do that, or we can just wait and flip. So I'm gonna actually just wait and flip. We'll see what happens. This has a ward cost now of 3 life, which is relatively important. So they're gonna have to pay 3 to do this, which is fine by me. They do get this back, which is kind of a problem because we're not gonna be able to most likely use the Seed of the Empire here. Oh no, they're gonna do this. Okay, sick. We actually get to kill this in response, which is phenomenal. That was really good, actually. This is a really fascinating game, honestly. Okay. So, what can we do? We can do that plus Shatterskull Charger, or we can Luminarch Aspirant and like a Hopeful Initiate. I think that might actually be the play here. As much as I don't love this, what this does allow us to do is kind of force the hand of the opponent a little bit here. Okay, well, that's really good. We definitely had the slower start of the two creature, or the two decks here, which is certainly a problem. But I think basically we offered the trade. They're not going to take it. Eventually this Intrepid Adversary coming down could be really, really good for us, but we kind of want to have stuff on the field before we do that, and so that's kind of where I'm at this turn. Wow, double Brutal Cathar. That's brutal. Man, these are the kind of jokes that you guys are here for. I know. I know. Yeah, that's super good. We don't really have a better option here, so we're just gonna do this. I think we don't attack. I don't think we really can attack, because, I mean, we might just die. Well, we're probably just dead now anyway. Yeah, they just had a very good... I mean, they just nailed it. Look at this. I'm going to go ahead and concede here, guys. Let's not waste any time. Let's move on to game 2. What's up, guys? Before we jump into the next game, I just want to remind you, if you would like to pick up this month's Patreon rewards, feel free to do so at patreon.com/itresolves. All right, guys, here we are for game number 2. Let's hope for a little bit of a better run this time. This is actually quite a nice hand, so we can go for this turn 1. Turn 2, we've got the Adversary, and then turn 3, we've got 2 very, very good picks. So basically, we are just hoping for not a mirror match. I think in those situations, oh man, it's a mirror match. It is what it is. Like, you're basically just up against the clock, as you are in any game, but more so, I think, obviously in that scenario. And you know, you can't always win in those situations, so you just got to do the best you can. Yeah, great card. So this does come in as a 3/3, basically, which is great. Okay. Whoa. I'm gonna go this route, actually. I will attack with both of these. If they're willing to trade off, I'm great. If not, this is a lot of damage coming their way. All right, sick. So yeah, this comes back to our hand, but I think that's kind of okay. I'd rather not trade off the Cavalier. The Cavalier is very good, so I wanna try and keep that. Okay, Rip Apart is a great answer for sure. It's funny, like, I don't face Boros Murn very often, surprisingly, I know, but I just don't. And now all of a sudden, of course, in the mirror match, we face it. We also just don't have as much burn as, like, this deck in particular. I really like Rip Apart. I think it's a great option, especially in the meta right now. So now I will play the Cavalier, I think. And basically, we're just hoping for the best. But essentially, because the Charger has trample and we can kick it next turn, like, there's a very real possibility we just get the last few points of damage in through that. But, I mean, they've got some great options too. So really, we just need to find, like, a reasonable option to hit them with here. Yeah, nice. That's big. Very, very big. They almost killed us. But again, I think we just get it. Nah, we don't just get it. No, yeah, we do. We just have it here by 1, I think. Had to do math, but yeah, we got it exactly. That was great. Hey, see, there we go. We can get a win. Go us. All right, let's move into game 3. All right, guys, here we are for game 3. And I mean, again, I'm pretty okay with this hand. It's a little creature light for sure, but we'll take it. The nice thing is, even if this doesn't throw a counter on something, it's still a good card. So it's like, you know, it's kind of fine if we whiff on it a little bit. I think I'm just gonna go this route, honestly. We're just gonna double up on these. As much as I feel like strangling a Shambling Ghast is not unreasonable, it's really an obnoxious play and I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. Cool. So this is actually really nice. So we get to throw the Cavalier down. That's gonna come in with the counter, and now we can just freely attack in for a lot. So we're basically asking them to have a pretty big, substantial double answer here. Bellstinger's fine, but it's not going to get the job done. We have the Strangle, and so we actually just get to kill that off the face, and they really don't have a great option. They also lose 2 life, which is not ideal in this scenario. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So alternatively, what we can do is just play this, and I mean, I'm just gonna do this. This may or may not be the right play. Technically, I feel like it's probably not, but I don't really care. We want it on the Trampler, so let's throw the counter there. And they lose. All right, sick. We did it. Well, we got time for a game 4, so let's run into a game 4. Let's see if we can get another win. All right, guys, here we are for game 4. Let's see if we can get another win. This will probably be our last-ish game. We'll see. I guess we keep. It's a little lackluster for sure, but we'll see if we can keep it and make some moves. We'll just lead on the red source because it really doesn't matter. This is where that little Kumano, that enchantment, would be really good. Because we could get the Aspirant down, like, right away. Alright. Yeah, it was pretty good. They could take the Luminarch Aspirant, which would be probably the best, like, current option, maybe. There's a lot of stronger options, but that's certainly a good one. Also, guys, if my voice sounds a little raspy, it's because I've been recording, like, a lot, and it's killing my voice, so that's kind of where I'm at. All right. This is certainly going to be an annoying matchup. There's no doubt about that. Seriously? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just those two. Honestly, like, I don't love it, but I think that's just the right play. Let's go for the Cavalier, expecting that they will have a way to deal with it, but also expecting that that becomes their priority, not our hand. So I feel like that's reasonable enough. Yeah, we'll see. We got this, I hope. We've got 2 wins. I'm already feeling a little better now that we've gotten some wins, because, man, wow, frustrating. Yeah, I think it's just those two. They are just picking apart the hand, man. That's annoying. But I get it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for this and deal max damage, I think. Yeah. So many go blanks. Like, what is this? This is just super discard tribal. That's very good. It's very annoying, but it's very good. The fact that they gain 4 life and then also get to gain another 2 off of this environmental sciences if they choose to, which they left up the mana, so like that's a little sketchy. But I mean, we go for this. I'm sure they've got something, but I don't really care. We basically just have to go for this. Sure. All right, well, there goes the 2 life that they're going to gain off of the environmental sciences, and yeah, all right. Basically, we just need like a land, and we can adversary out and get out of range of like the Hive of the Eye Tyrant there. We can also just leave up the flare for Hive of the Eye Tyrant. There's their land. They go play that, and I assume just start leveling up. Okay. So they get an extra card. Ooh, that's good. Sick. Yeah, sure. Okay. Unfortunately, that actually doesn't work. I wish we had a modified creature, but we just don't. I'm just gonna get this out there, honestly. It sucks that we can't do anything with it, but we're kind of in a place where we don't want to do anything on our turns with the Cavalier out, or we just want to like push through as much as we can. Wow, that sucks. Wow, that's not as bad. All right, yeah. I mean, it's all we can do, right? Is push through as much as we can. This is like one of the worst matchups for this deck, that they're exiling, they're killing every... I mean, mono black is just so good against this deck, so it's very frustrating, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Again, it's a good draw. All right. Basically telling us they either, or basically we're telling them they have to have the answer. Well, that's the answer. All right. Good Lord. Give me like a Roiling Eruption or Roil Eruption, whatever the card is that you can just burn them. I also don't love that Play with Fire is not in this list. I feel like that's a really good option to have. All right. My thing is, like, they drew 2 cards off of the Invoke Despair last turn. Infernal Grasp, worth noting, not a viable option right now. All right, well, it might be eventually. I guess it is now, technically. Yeah. Nope. All right, so now we're out of range of a burn spell. I mean, we're pretty dead now. Yeah, Mascot Exhibition. All right, I'm gonna concede. Let's talk about this deck. All right, guys, so out of 4 games, we got another 2 wins, which isn't bad. And I do think you're taking a gamble with a Boros Murn deck. I think this one could be tooled out a little better, but I will say MTG Malone, this is a great starting point, and I do really like the list. I would suggest like Play with Fires a little bit more. I liked the additions of like Rip Apart. I think you're gonna find targets for it most of the time, so I just feel like there's some better options out there. But all that to say, this is obviously a strong contender, and a lot of those are flex slots, so it's really up to your discretion, I think, when you're building the deck. But I would highly recommend starting with this one, because I do think it's got all the pieces. It just, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But I think that's the gamble you're taking with an aggressively focused aggro deck. I think, you know, if you look at the new Capenna Championship stuff, which we talked about on the podcast, like a lot of that is aggro, quote unquote, but aggro right now is more like kind of mid-rangey in the sense that it's like turn 4, turn 5 where you're really starting to take off, or hoping to take off. And so to try and push that down to like the turn 3-ish mark is very, very good and very focused, but I think it's also pretty easy to disrupt, which is why we didn't see it in traditional standard do as well. As of course aggro decks also take a bit of a hit there, but all that to say, it was a blast. So thank you so much, MTG Malone. I really do appreciate it, man. Go check him out, guys, and check out any other gameplay, collection update, podcast, or streams that you would like here on the It Resolves channel. But thank you for watching, guys. I love you all. Have a great day.